over. Disease is becoming a problem. Registering people is difficult as many have fled without their ID cards, and the sweltering summer temperatures another misery to endure in their new and they hope temporary lives. Murad Khan, Aljazeera, Islamabad.
For more now on Pakistan's offensive in the Swat Valley, we're joined by Murad Khan, a former spokesman for the Pakistani military. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
We're hearing now that the military has gone into the city of Mingora, but they're meeting pretty fierce resistance from the Taliban. Does that surprise you?
No, it was very much expected because the operation this time when the security forces have launched, this is totally different from the previous two operations because this time they are encircling these militants from the mountainside. They have destroyed what they claim their camps in Puchar Valley and then in Baine Baba Bridge area where they have training camps. And they have finally encircled these militants and coming into the cities. And as per our information, the militants are all scattered in the city and they have occupied all houses. And what I foresee as per my own analysis, since I'm from that area also, is going to be a pitch battle and it will be really bloody and I would expect a lot of casualties on both sides.
Now we're hearing that there are still about 10 to 15% of civilians who remain in Mingora. Could there be high casualties among civilians? Because it's going to be very difficult for the military to distinguish between those who are militants and those who are not.
This is going to be a humongous task on the part of security forces because these militants, I don't call them militants, I call them monsters. They, when they throw out the weapons and they claim that we are civilian being made hostage by these militants, this is going to be very difficult and I foresee the casualties, collateral damage, all those 20% people, it's around 200,000 people being trapped still in the city.
You know, there was a story in today's Washington Post about the battle that is going on in Swat, and the article says, the battle for control of Swat has tested the Pakistani government's resolve to confront a raging Islamist insurgency. And it goes on to say that there is concern in the United States. It says US officials expressed deep concern that the Pakistani government was not up to the task of combating the Taliban. Not exactly a ringing endorsement for the Pakistani military, is it?
They're partially, I would say, right also. The Pakistani security forces, they lack the capability of counter-insurgency that, you know, we all know that. They have trained their army for conventional warfare and they have that capability. And that thing, you know, I've been referring in my previous interviews and this point, that the United States should work together with Pakistan and build their capacity in countering these militants. And if they don't do it right now, I think it's going to pose a potent threat to Pakistan, to the region and to the whole world. Because these militants, as I told you earlier, they are monsters, they are inhuman and they are involved in these brutal and inhuman activities.
As we've been reporting, there's something like 2 million people have been displaced in the Swat Valley. Despite that, do you believe that the majority of the Pakistani population still support the government's action?
Partially, they do support, but this is the main gray area that Pakistan and United States, which are main ally and involved in war and terror, they don't do anything to take people on board. There's a negative perception in Pakistan in masses that this is not the Pakistani war, this is the United States war. And even in the new strategy, they don't have anything to handle with this issue and face it because till the time it might be Pakistan, tribal area and Swat, it might be Afghanistan. Till the time they don't have the support of the masses, I can assure you they cannot even think of winning this war.
Mr. Khan, we're going to have to leave it there. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, sir.
Now we're to Sri Lanka, where the United Nations chief Ban Ki-moon has called